I think this is a good segue. Speaking about like different conversations and people that I would consider other. Have we all seen Netflix The Rock's film?
Yes.
Yeah, you have. Pull up your mic, Sosa.
I watched it last night.
Get next to that mic.
I watched it last night. Yeah.
How do we feel in terms of just like how good or bad it was? We can start there.
I didn't think it was bad at all.
I'm just saying. I'm asking like.
Yeah, it was it was a nice watch.
Yeah,
it was a good watch.
Yeah.
Though, do you know what? I was watching it. I was thinking, "Rah, I'm turning into a fucking softie, bruv." Because
don't lie.
I'm like,
been about it.
Been soft.
Been soft.
I'm like,
I was gonna say been moist.
I'm like, why is this? I'm feeling away
because it's real, bro.
Do you know what I mean? Like I was genuinely like feeling.
It tugs at the heartstrings.
Like real sorrow.
I will say her brethren, was it Samaya? Real G.
Real.
The realist.
Real.
The realist.
They go
realist.
in, they go ham for you still. But yeah, it just highlighted real situations, and I was just like, rah, this is something that needs to be highlighted because there's a lot of people that go through this, a lot of young people that go through this, and it's just not necessarily talked about because I mean a lot of us, like, you know, we've grown up with our parents, innit?
Yeah.
And we've never had to have had that happen to us where they just leave without explanation.
Spoiler alert.
There was like a, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
It's in the story of like someone says to go to read the description of what the film's about.
Okay, cool.
So it's all about, you know, what she does in order to keep afloat for, you know,
while someone's not
around. It was powerful, and just going into just analyzing the character in itself, and just her as an actress, she kind of embodied like that maturity into her character so well.
Even with the Somali
and it highlights what a lot of
do you know what I mean?
Young black girls have to go through.
That was Netflix's era. That was a Netflix.
We'll talk about that, but a lot of young black girls got to go through where they've got to grow up too quickly.
Yeah. So seriously, like what Fols just touched on, a lot of young black girls have to grow up too quickly, and they don't necessarily have the opportunity to see out their childhood because life gets real, and they have to kind of wisen up unintentionally.
So mummy's not on job, you're now substitute mummy.
Yeah.
And sometimes even if mummy is on job, you're still substitute mummy because mummy's on job, but she's at work.
Yeah.
So now you've got to hold down the household. Your younger brother, who you might not even have a big age gap, but like he can be a boy and mess up. You're already being pushed into womanhood.
Yeah.
Like quickly, you don't have to. You don't have a chance to enjoy your teens.
And the ability to think on your feet whilst you don't have anything. Do you know what I mean? And I know that a lot of them situations puts you in a position to think quickly because you have to act. There's no other option that you have. Do you know what I mean? You don't know where the next meal's coming from. You don't know when your next piece of money's coming from. So you essentially have to improvise on your day to day. Like imagine going to sleep having to think so much about tomorrow, like about how you're going to maneuver because you don't have a fixed place to stay. And
your little brother's there snoring. He ain't got a Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
This kid doesn't know what's going on.
Because
he's enjoying life,
like,
going nail shop, just chilling.
Because
he did.
But it's a thing where you have to realize very quickly that because you are still a minor, you're at risk of being taken and separated from the only person that you have left. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I liked the scene where she's arguing with her best friend.
Yeah.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
You've got everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well,
it's
in the
mad
same
to think
ends,
what she considers everything.
Yeah.
Just having a stable home, parents there, that to her is everything.
Yeah.
Which should be the norm.
Yeah. Even when she came to visit her house, why is it so dark in here? Just those small little like things.
It's like thinking, bitch, I'm keeping his curtains closed because social services might pull up.
Real.
But that's a reflection of what the mood is like in the house.
And acutely aware that she had to do that even though she's a kid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about the growing up, having to grow up fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Like recognizing the fact that the neighbor is concerned.
Yeah.
And she's alerted social services. So she's clocked like, rah, people are right outside my house before I've even got there.
I like that. She had a certain level of like, you like street smart.
Yeah.
Very savvy.
She knew, man, and
what got me was when she was calling her grandma from Nige and she's still backing her mum. Her grandmas already know what type of her daughter is.
Yeah. She said it. The grandma said it. Not every woman is fit for motherhood.
That was shit. From grandma to
And
granddaughter.
I was
I don't even want to say. Yeah, but don't tell that to your granddaughter.
Nah, you have to give her the real, because at the moment, where is your mum?
But then one can argue, where are you?
But she's done her bit. She's raised her child.
Fair, yeah.
She's done her bit.
Grandma needs a life still.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna leave that responsibility to my mum.
I'm even being bad, man. Where's the pops? What's happening?
Yeah. So you can't even like, I can't scrutinize the grandma.
No, that's where you're right. I'm wrong, so you're right.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like there's so many dialogues that kind of unfold from that whole narrative, and I think there's something to be said about, like, so even fostering it. I felt a sense of warmth. I was teary eyed, man. There was a couple times it got me. I was like, damn.
Yeah, no way. RNA.
I'm not crying. But there was a couple times it got me, and I think there's something to be said about even them having the conversation about the mum, if it had been a different set of circumstances, that actually where she was at in her mind, that adoption would have been the bravest thing she could have done for her children.
Yeah.
To have that power, but actually keep her children together and put them in a loving home that she is able to sign off and say until further notice, or foster. Do you know what I mean? But leaving it to chance with what a £60 or £80 or whatever was left in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there's something to be said within that, because basically giving all of that responsibility to, I don't know if it's ever established how old Rox is.
They're in school, so we just
They're in school, so
14 to 16.
I'll
put around the
place
14,
it
15 mark, if
in
that.
between year 9 and year 11.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's a hell of a lot of responsibility, and like for her to be that savvy, and equally for the younger brother to be mindful or aware of the fact that this is something that mummy has done before. I don't know if it's a regular thing, but mummy has done before. That, you know, he was pestering his sister for the real, like, where's she gone this time, because my birthday's coming up. Do you know what I mean? And I think that within it paints a story that they were unable to tell. And also that there's so many different types of parent relationships within it as well. You know, you've got the very stable, financially stable, well-to-do white young girl who means well, but she's so far removed from that life.
And it's amazing that you raised that point, because I think a lot of us, whether the fact that we're in the same situation or not, we understand, innit? So she goes to her brethren's house, a Somali household, thinking, why is your friend and her brother staying here? But without saying it, you can stay. And you'll figure out another day. As soon as she goes to the white household, social services show up the next day.
And it's hard.
And I get it from the girl's perspective. It's like,
yes,
I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, we're just trying to help.
She didn't know.
But in that moment, Rox wanted to
rock her, fam.
I was trying to find something else to say. I was trying to be a bit more original than that. But I hear you.
Nah, she was ready to scrap, man. And it's like, I felt that hurt in my heart for her. Like, we've gone on this journey with her throughout this whole film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And even down to the relationship that she developed with the other very interesting young lady, who I initially thought, I like her, she stands for it, she holds her own. That she holds her own, but actually, nah, man, she a little scrub. I
feel like she represents the character possibly of someone that might have been in care and been through certain things.
And this is also,
that's what I thought. So I thought we were looking at it from a lens of like, Rox could be that person if this situation isn't patterned up correctly. Because it was like, I feel like we're doing a bit of spoiler. When she does what she does to her for Rox to survive and her brother to survive, it's like, you're doing to me these times, I ain't got nothing either. They're actually both in the same boat technically. And even though Rox knows what she's done is wrong, it's like, a bitch, I need this from me and my brother. And right now, our needs supersede yours, innit? And I don't think it was even a conscious, it was just like, yo, it's here, it's available. Let me get out of here. The bit that made me like angry and maybe a little bit teary-eyed was like the hotel scene. I want to scuff my man.
Yeah.
I want to scuff my man. And I like the fact her brother was on it as well. You know, little kids, the little you can do, kick someone, do something.
Yeah.
Don't have my luggage out here like this.
Yeah, man.
And I get where he's coming from, like, oh yeah, can get in trouble. Yo,
dash the frog at the Donny.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah,
bruv. Like it was. Yeah, it. I think they tackled all cylinders, like, of that entire narrative. Even like the concerned black teacher that went over to the house to be like, where are you?
And those teachers, we need those teachers that go the extra mile.
This is it, because you've got like other teachers, and there was that scene where she was at the school and she went to, I think, at the reception of the school, and she wanted to see if like her mum had called, and like how the woman at the phone was speaking to her. I was thinking like, right, this is like an obvious concerned, like you don't just go to a reception and ask if my mum's called.
In this day and age, your kids have their phone, they can just shout their mum on the side.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's a lot, and it kind of like I have my younger brothers who are in school, but it kind of gave me a perspective of like what it's actually like in school in right this now. Era right now. Do you know what I mean?
It felt fresher. It doesn't feel like when we were watching Kidulthood and they were in school. I love it because it's a black girl as a lead. I think the girl's named Bookie, so shouts out to her.
Yeah.
And also it's a black. Can I say? I don't know if it's I'll say it's a black British story, but from a different perspective. Because I know a lot of people, I don't like going down this rabbit hole, but a lot of people feel like we're getting one type of story. Hey, you've got this story now. As a standalone, it being good is my recommendation. Just it being good.
Yeah.
But if you fall in that bracket of like, oh, we need more stories, go and watch this one.
Rocks,
use the hashtag, which is #RocksFilm.
Yeah.
Keep those numbers up.
Yeah.
Pull it on loop on Netflix.
Yeah.
Recommend it. Put it in your group chats.
It's definitely
get other people
something
to
I'll
watch it.
Again.
You know,
I'll watch it again.
Like and I don't
I'm
know.
gonna tell my mum to watch it as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they've done much press. If some stuff has escaped my radar, apologies. But I would love to see the lead actresses on there have sit downs and talk about what's going on. I think
they were phenomenal, man.
So Roxy's character and Samaya, those, I just like their dynamic. I love that.
Yeah,
and I like seeing that. Like,
although they bumped heads at times,
but that's real though.
But it was real, and you can still see the love there in it. They ain't seen each other for a couple of days. Rox comes back to school, and she's thinking, right, these people don't fuck with me no more. Where am I gonna sit? The first person to say, yo, come and sit down at the table.
You're real G.
And then they're like, oh, I gotta go up to where was it? Hastings.
Yeah.
We're coming with you. What do you mean?
Riding.
What, £29 return? That's bare P, you know. I was like, wow. Like the innocence and everything, bumping the trains, like these are
authentic.
These are like what we did.
Bro, we were really bumping the train back then, boy.
Bumping.
And that's the one benefit living in a council estate, bro. You know, all the different houses like Felbridge, Wheatland, Whitney. All you got to do is just change a house name, put a different door number, evade a fine.
Yeah.
Shout out to 49 Felbridge. You lot got bare fines. You lot got hella fines at Felbridge. What? Ain't no fines come to my house, bro. Are you crazy? So my mom can flog me. That's at the age where if you get a fine them times, what my mom do? She just give me my weekly money and say it's between you and the fine company. Whether you eat or you pay your fine, it's up to you. But you can't get another letter to the house. So I had to pay the fine, innit? You know? And that week, boy, was finessing school meals for that week, innit? So you learn your lesson, bro.
So story was written by Teresa Ikoko for Rocks. It was directed by Sarah Gavron. So it's very like it's done by women.
Yeah, and they got to it. It's not too long. They just got to it, and it's no
crunch,
like slow build up and like
straight into the crunch. We got a little glimpse of what it was like to have the mum there, and then very quickly she went, and it was, Rox and
I've forgotten
little man's name.
Yeah, I've forgotten his name, but was it Emmanuel?
Emmanuel.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So
it was literally them and everything surrounding them. So check it out. It's on Netflix. Just type in Rocks and you'll find it. Less get it to the point where it's featured on the homepage.
Yeah, definitely. We need definitely that as a community. I really like the film. I think it's dope as a standalone.
Yeah.
But if you've got all your other grabs, just go and see it as well. I got a recommendation. I think it's called Last Tree. It's on Netflix as well.
Okay.
So she's in Famalam. I think her name's Bemisola.
Okay.
Kind of fairer skinned. She's one of the leads on there. Dems. Tom's boy, he's on there as well.
Okay. Oh, he's been on the show as well.
He's been on the podcast as well. And that's on Netflix. Let me just make sure. Is it Last Tree or Last Three? I want to make sure I said that correctly.
I think it is Last Tree, you know. But yeah, double check.
Yeah, it's called The Last Tree. So it's this guy's raised by a white foster mum in the countryside. A black teen gets his life uprooted when his birth mother reclaims custody and moves him to London. So yeah, you can imagine where the story goes. So yeah, that's my recommendation. That's what I've been kind of engaging in and watching over the. Have you guys been taking any other content over the last few days?
I did watch something directly after watching Rocks on Netflix. Totally unrelated. American Murder.
I've been hearing about this. Mad?
Bro, yeah, man. Yeah. Like, I went to bed angry. Like,
so they did their job then, basically.
But it's a real life documentary, and it happened 2 years ago, so it's very fresh.
Oh,
it's very fresh. But yeah, it's a sad story.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
I'll give it a miss.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a miss. You know what I've been watching those? Well, it's on BBC iPlayer. It's called Kingmaker. It's a documentary about Rupert Murdoch, his relationship, his family's relationship with the British press, politicians. It's about 3-part documentary. I think it's really good, and it just kind of shows you the skullduggery and levels. Like, see the upper society.
Yeah,
they know no bounds, innit? They are the CEOs of rule breaking. See, we're down here, we're laughing about like bumping train, and we're joking about Rob this England and that. Please, you have to,
bro. You
have to, because we need to level the playing field a bit more. Because when a man want to do what they want to do, they're a law unto themselves, innit? So it details basically his relationship with different politicians. So they had, I think it was the News of the World, the Times, Sunday Times, the Sun. So all the broadsheets, tabloids, all the main papers in the UK. And if the Sun endorsed a politician throughout history, they've always won in it.
Yeah.
So it would show how like different politicians have got to grease his palms and, you know, be buddy and like figure how to be on his good side to get that endorsement in it. Because don't get twisted, that the newspaper, I don't know, maybe not as much now, but through the late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s, had a massive like stronghold on how we viewed certain things, innit?
Right.
They control the media, innit? They put out, they set the agenda, the narrative, the perspective, and we follow it as a nation, innit? So it looked at, I think the central bit of it was when they were looking at Tony Blair's relationship. So when he came in like New Labour, it was the dawn of a new day, and this was when like Rule Britannia, it might have been like times Oasis was popping. So there was a lot of stuff going on culturally. And he had to go over there, which kind of goes against New Labour or even old Labour possibly ideology, go and schmooze the big capitalist, innit? And he had to go and do that, and it worked because they endorsed them. They always traditionally endorsed the Tories, innit?
Yeah.
But they endorsed him and they won, you know, and it just showed like how that kind of weird relationship works, and basically kind of pay him like a mafia don.
Okay.
So if I'm endorsing you, I'm gonna want something from this. So policy, you know, I need a promise that this is gonna occur in it. And there's excerpts or bits in the documentary where they take from other docs, and they like where he doesn't have a lot of interviews, but where he's had interviews, and they actually ask him directly about that. Or do you influence policy, or like would you benefit? Because at the end of the day, like rational self-interest. What am I getting out of this? Donnie ain't endorsing you for nothing. We're not dumb. Why is this paper endorsing this candidate? For what reason? Are you pushing for a referendum on EU? Are you pushing for certain business laws, certain policies? What are you pushing for in it? It's very obvious. So they kind of cover and look at that. And then there was this whole, don't know if you guys remember the phone hacking scandal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest one was it Millie Dowler? When she passed away, they hacked the phone, hacked the voicemail. And the
Piers
parents,
Morgan, no?
Yeah, Piers Morgan. And the parents were ringing the voicemail And because the voicemail was then full and then went like straight to her, something happened on her voicemail where it kind of gives you hope that she's been using her phone, not knowing she's been dead for ages, but because they've been hacking the voicemail, so it was mad. So basically, in that moment, they got a perfect victim. So that was like the snowball effect for all this phone hacking stuff to happen. So a lot of celebrities, high-profile people then brought cases and sued. I don't know if you guys remember F1 head honcho Max Mosley, when he got exposed for like some weird sex activity. Like he dressed up as like, they alleged he dressed up as like Nazis and stuff. You don't remember that, Max Mosley?
Nah.
No. I'm probably into like this shit in it. So his thing come out, but he's someone that's got money. So he was able, a lot of obviously celebs and that, they can afford to, but when you start going down that hole of you're fighting against Rupert Murdoch, who's got a big bag, even if you're right, you can't afford to fight in it.
Yeah.
He could, innit? So what then happened, he was doing like insurance, he was underwriting for other celebs, going, okay, cool. If you take him on as well, I will guarantee that if you lose, I'll pay you out. So it kind of talks about like the downfall of Murdoch, and even though he's still an entity, still a big deal, and he's gone on to do stuff. So maybe not as big of a figure in British politics, but like that kind of shows what he's doing in America at the moment. But it showed that transition from like untouchable to the point where he's having to sit in front of like committees in the UK and answer questions. You'd never think of that as someone like that runs a big company like B Sky B, all this stuff. Like it's mad, isn't it? So that's what I've been watching. I mean, I think it's good. And like if you're really into politics, and if you're not, it just gives you I think enough of an insight to know that this is one hell of a dirty game.
Yeah,
shady
for
business.
sure, for sure.
Shady business. So